America will never be a socialist country.
I'm glad that President Trump tells people he opposes
Vile creeds such as socialism, Marxism, and straight-up communism.
He rightly calls socialism
The wrecker of nations and destroyer of societies.
But as Inigo Montoya said,
you keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Trump complains about
Tyrannical socialist government.
but he's acting like a socialist.
The United States is going to take a 5% stake in Lithium Americas.
White House taking a 10% stake in Trilogy Metals.
15% stake in MP.
Trump says he's against socialism, but he's having the government get involved in owning companies and directing companies.
Economist Dan Mitchell says Trump, like many Americans, doesn't understand what socialism is.
He probably thinks socialism just means a big welfare state, when of course socialism technically is government ownership or partial ownership of the means of production, and Trump is doing that.
I think the United States should be given 10% of Intel.
When Trump got 10% of Intel, his Commerce Secretary said,
"It's not socialism. This is capitalism."
"It's not socialism, this is capitalism."
Socialism is government ownership of the means of production.
But they just own 10%.
Well, it doesn't have to be 100%. If you're Intel, there's no way you're going to antagonize the Trump administration or some future, AOC administration by doing something that the government doesn't like.
And even Trump worries about that.
Now I'm a little concerned whoever the president might be.
I don't trust Donald Trump to control a share correctly, but I definitely don't trust some of the folks on the left. And all of a sudden, you've created this precedent of government being a senior partner sitting in the boardroom with some of these major companies. It's going to be a disaster for the U.S. economy.
The biggest national security concern should be if this deal didn't happen.
Some Republicans argue such deals are needed to keep us safe. It's important for national security.
If a company is important to America's security, make it easy for them to operate in the U.S. Fix the regulatory process that makes it very difficult to organize and build new factories, dig new mines. That's a much better approach than government handouts.
The true engine of economic growth will always be companies like Solyndra.
Trump's not the first president to make deals with companies. When Democrats did it, Republicans were right to object.
I question whether the government is qualified to act as a venture capitalist, picking winners and losers, shelling out billions of taxpayer dollars to keep them afloat.
You had all these supposed green energy companies, and we were going to do smart investment by Washington and become a world leader.
The opposite happened.
The collapse of Solyndra after running through more than $500 million of taxpayer stimulus money.
We wound up losing, not winning.
And now Trump's doing it.
We do a lot of deals like that. I'll do more of them.
They're taking our money, taxpayer money, and in effect putting their thumb on the scale, giving out subsidies. That's where the economic harm comes.
Government handouts often prop up what investors call zombie companies.
A zombie company is a company that is on the verge of bankruptcy, that's in trouble.
Chip maker Intel was struggling. Then
President Biden announced an $8 billion grant to Intel.
But the handout didn't stop Intel's decline. So what should be done?
Let the weak companies go away so the resources, the labor, and the capital can go to the young, new companies that are actually creating wealth. We need to allow creative destruction to operate. But politicians, they look at the seen and they ignore the unseen. The seen is, a company in my district is closing and factory jobs will be lost. They're not paying attention to the new companies, the new entrepreneurship that makes us much richer in the long run.
And the unseen is also all the companies that might have started that would be better if we hadn't been throwing taxpayer money at the zombies.
If we try to stop the progress of creative destruction, you wind up freezing your economy in place.
Japan did that.
Japan was one of the richest, most prosperous countries in the world, at least on paper.
The island nation was the most innovative and productive country in the world.
They were the role model for America.
We needed to copy Japan. They had this great industrial policy. Well, it turns out they suffered several lost decades, largely as a consequence of trying to prop up zombie companies.
Millions of people lost their savings and their jobs. Till this day, Japan's economy has never truly recovered.
No country has ever prospered with that kind of system.
One reason is that when governments take ownership or hand out loans and grants, company executives start chasing political favors instead of innovating. When Intel got your money, its executives spent lots of time doing photo ops with politicians. Intel workers didn't do as well.
Intel plans to cut more than 20% of its workforce.
After Trump gave Pfizer a tariff exemption, its CEO groveled before him.
Mr. President, I want to thank you for your leadership and, frankly, for your friendship.
The market will be much better than the government at delivering the things that we need.
Why is the market better?
There's a bottom line incentive to use resources intelligently and efficiently. With politicians, it's all about, oh, does a factory have a certain number of jobs in a key state? Are the executives donors to my campaign? This is going to be a recipe for just rampant cronyism.
And this guy is completely perverted capitalism, Donald Trump. It's crony capitalism.
Now, Democrats say, we'll defend free markets from Donald Trump.
That's just becoming a partner with a corporation. That's just Donald Trump doing another shakedown.
Both parties should butt out. Let free markets work. The Babylon Bee came out with a good headline to describe what's happened. Trump vows to nationalize as many private companies as it takes to defeat socialism.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
We laugh and cry here at Stossel TV. We'll keep an eye on Trump's deals, and if you like our videos, please click that button.